Hey, you know what they call a Whopper in France?
No, what do they call a Whopper in France?
Le Whopper.
Shit. What do they call a Big Mac?
I don't know. Never been to France.
Oh, right here, man. You ready?
I'm ready.
Should have gone bare guns.
How many subs are there?
About 150.
Yeah, I'd say we need some bigger guns.
Yep.
So, what are we doing?
This is movies.
What's that?
It's a YouTube channel thing.
YouTube. I don't do that stuff.
You are aware there is YouTube, you know, where people upload videos, watch videos.
Yeah, I don't watch any of that stuff, man.
Anyway, let's get this done. You ready to get in character?
Yep.
Hey guys, that's right. We're doing Pulp Fiction.
Yes, we
and
are.
You know, you just saw it for the first time yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, and that is not a movie for your morning digest.
No, it isn't.
That is
nothing like waking up to like drug addiction and
blood,
and ultra violence.
The F word being used 265 times in one movie.
And that's from IMDb.
That's what IMDb told us 265 times.
And that's not even including the rest of the offensive language, all the N words that are thrown around, all the the GDs and the this movie's brutal from top to finish. So seeing it for the first time, I've seen it several times.
Yes.
Seeing it for the first time, what did you think?
It was definitely different. I mean, this is not your standard run-of-the-mill movie. Obviously, it's a Tarantino film, but this is early Tarantino, and this is hailed as one of the better movies of all time, too. I don't know if it's in the top 100 or not, but it is definitely in the book 501 must-see movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good. It's different, but it's good. That's all you can really say about it.
Now, I've seen this film several times. There's stories that I always like to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the second time I've seen it. We have a place in Columbus, the Drexel.
It's in Bexley, yeah.
That sometimes shows older films.
Yeah.
I've seen Caddyshack there. And my buddy Jerry and I would go up a lot. And one day Jerry was like, hey, we should dress up and go see Pulp Fiction. And so he pulled his hair back in a ponytail and had a black suit and white shirt, black tie. I have black suit jacket, white shirt, black tie.
Yep.
I slicked my hair back. And we drove up all the way up to Columbus. We're like, 2 tickets for the Drexel, for Pulp Fiction, please. And they're like, oh, that played last week. We're like, oh. So we drove back to Lancaster. And watched it in his living room.
Did you talk about the names of cheeseburgers and?
No, we didn't do any of that. We did not talk about the names of cheeseburgers and fans. But it's a good thing you brought that up, because the thing is this film is eminently quotable.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot like The Big Lebowski, in that it has just one-liner after one-liner after one-liner. You can quote this film all day, and it seems like every situation you're in, there's a Pulp Fiction quote for that.
Yeah. I mean,
it may not be appropriate.
It may not be appropriate for the conversation, but
there is a quote for that.
The gun just went off.
Yeah. So I now here's the thing. even though it's probably technically a better movie, and we'll get into the technical stuff here in a second, even though it's technically a better movie than Reservoir Dogs or even Django Unchained, those two seem to be my favorite Tarantino films. I don't think I like Pulp Fiction as much as Reservoir Dogs or Django Unchained. If I had to rank it, it would probably be number 3 in my list.
But it is pretty much the quintessential Quentin Tarantino.
It's kind of his Beethoven's the Fifth. It's kind of his Mona Lisa. It's kind of held up as his masterpiece.
That and
the Kill Bill movies.
People love Kill Bill. They're different, so like it makes sense that they're two different things. But you did mention technicality, and one of the biggest things is the cinematography in this movie is wonky and incredible.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's so many one shots where they just walk a whole distance. There's the diner where they're going all the way around the diner. There's the first scene, they walk up those stairs and all that, and they're talking all the way around the hallway over to the room, and then down the hallway again, then back in. Bruce Willis does it twice, at least twice, when he's going to his apartment to get his watch.
The thing is, what I love about these one shots, and this movie feels very organic. It feels very raw, and a lot of those one shots are not on a track.
Yeah.
They're not on a track following the character. They are walking with the camera, and you get that in the diner when they do that loop around the diner, and it's a long scene. It's a long one shot. It makes me think of very, very much of going through the kitchen and into the restaurant from Goodfellas. That too is also a single shot, a single take. It makes me that whole diner scene makes me think of that, and the thing is that scene you get so much motion from the camera. You feel very much like you're following that waitress to your table.
Yeah.
You get to experience everything that's going on, all the sights that are going on, and it feels like you're there. The scene with Bruce Willis that you were just mentioning, where he's going to get his watch, and he's going through chain link fences in between houses and stuff. If you watch, you can see the camera bob with the natural rhythm of somebody.
He ducks under the fence too.
It's great. But you can see the camera kind of bob with the natural rhythm of somebody walking, carrying the camera. In any other film, it might have felt out of place or even wrong, or like, oh, somebody's carrying that camera.
Oh boy!
But in this, it almost heightens the tension. You're expecting, you're right there with Bruce Willis, and you almost feel like somebody's gonna pop out and start shooting at you. This movie is so organic in the way it's filmed.
Something else that's really nice about this movie, that you keep saying it's organic just in the cinematography and the way it's filmed and all that. The characters themselves are just packed with personality all the time. Every single character has personality, and you know it from the second you meet them. You're like, I know this guy. Like, in some way, you feel like you know the characters.
Even your bit characters, Lance and
Lance is the drug dealer, and Jimmy is played by Quentin Tarantino. If you didn't know that, that is what he looks like.
Even those smaller characters, you quickly get a sense of
Jimmy
who they are.
Like, Jimmy does think. Jimmy, obviously, you don't know what exactly he does, but he's Jimmy, and they get to his house, and he's not thinking about himself. He's like, oh my god, my wife is going to be home and she's going to see a dead body.
Right.
And that would be one of the things you think about early on. You'd be like, oh shit, my wife's going to come home soon.
Right.
I don't need to see you haven't cleaned your house yet, for instance. Just as an idea, your wife tells you to clean your house. She's coming home, and you're like, oh god, I haven't cleaned my house yet, but this time it's a dead body.
Right. Yeah.
But you can identify with some of these people.
And that's a lot in the writing, and that one of the things about this film is so tightly directed, and the stories are so tightly told, and the characters are so tightly developed. This movie, from beginning in for all of its rough exterior, there's a level of real professionalism. A real masterwork going on. It's so tightly put together, and these characters just are so tightly developed. And through the storytelling, there's so many tiny little bits and pieces.
Yep.
This is a film you could watch 100 times, and 100 times you would pick out something new.
Yep. Something that we picked out afterwards, not really picked out, we discovered that was really interesting to me, was just another one of those small little details that are in all of his movies. There was in the pawn shop, after Bruce Willis escapes his seat, knocks out the one guy, he goes up the stairs, and he picks up Zed's keys, and he holds them up and looks at them, and it says a Z for Zed on
keychain, right?
On a keychain. But behind it is a partially lit Killian's Red sign. Partially lit, it says "Kill Ed," and when he holds up the Z, it says "Kill Zed." And we didn't catch that. And you see it multiple times. We didn't catch.
I hadn't caught it until you had found that on IMDb, and now and you're like, oh wow,
wow.
And I'm gonna have to go back, and we're gonna put that scene up here.
We'll try to get a shot of that. Is where he gets the idea. Oh, I should probably go back.
It's subliminal messaging.
Yeah.
It's things like Quentin Tarantino saying, "Oh, it was Butch that keyed Vincent Vega's car."
Yeah.
And when you think about the timeline of things and how, because the movie's told out of order, if you think about the timeline of events, you're like, oh, that makes so much sense.
So much sense. Speaking of the car, another interesting story that I found on IMDb's trivia section, which is a great place. Go check out IMDb if you've never been there before, especially their trivia sections are great. But the car, the Chevelle that they're using, belongs to Quentin Tarantino, and it was
Malibu.
Yeah, it's Chevelle Malibu. It was stolen during the filming of the show, during the movie. It was filmed during the filming of the movie, and it wasn't recovered until 2013. Some cop was just driving around and he saw some kids playing with a car, this older car. I think they said they were stripping it, and he checks out the VIN number and it's been altered, and he finds out that it is the Chevelle that was stolen. 20 years earlier, in '93, when they were filming this movie. So I'm like, that is pretty awesome.
That's interesting. So, question: what would you say is probably one of your favorite scenes of the film?
Favorite scene of the film? I mean, obviously the intro scene, that whole entire vignette of them walking in, giving, talking and everything.
All the dialogue, and 95% of that great dialogue comes from that opening.
Opening scene.
I'd probably say one of my favorites is the cleaning up the car scene.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You have Harvey Keitel in there,
yeah.
And I love me some Harvey Keitel. It's a great little scene, and you feel the urgency of the whole matter, and it's just well paced and well put together. I like that scene quite a bit. But there's no lack of favorites in this film. There are a lot of really good scenes.
Yeah. One scene that just came to mind that was just like one of those small tidbit scenes that gives some personality to people is there's a quick awkward scene where Vincent Vega, who's played by John Travolta, is waiting for Lance, his drug dealer, and he's sitting there with the two girls, and one of them's got a bunch of piercings. She's talking about the piercings all over her body, and you don't know her at all, and you never do again. But the way she's talking and what she's talking about gives her a personality. And then he talks and he walks out. I think her name was Rory. I can't remember his wife's name. It's Lance's wife, but just those small little bits is what really makes a Quentin Tarantino film.
Right. And you know what else makes a Quentin Tarantino film?
Quentin Tarantino.
Lots of cussing, lots of violence. Guys, if you're squeamish or if you are easily offended by offensive language, this is not the film for you, because he goes all in 100% with everything in this film, from drugs. Actually lacks very little actual sex.
Yeah,
though there is some in there. Drugs and sex and violence and offensive language. He goes 100% there. So not for you. But having seen it for the first time and being a first time viewer, what would you rank this out of 5 stars?
Out of 5 stars, I would probably go 4.5. I mean, it's a really well-rounded movie.
I too would probably go
some of that ballpark.
I'd probably go 5 stars on this one.
Just all in?
I'd probably go all in on this one because it really is.
It has an 8.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
That sounds about right.
Really high Metascore for them.
It really is, like I said, it's so tightly direct. I can't but help love a story put together this well, and a story that's this compelling.
Yep.
And grabs you in. I will say, as a final note, I did last night to do some research. I watched Siskel and Ebert, a review. I watched a review from 1994 on this film. I kind of wanted to get an idea what they thought. They both loved it. But something, and I had talked about it just a moment ago, like if you're squeamish or if you don't like violence. Roger Ebert said something, and I was like, you know what? I've seen this movie now 3 or 4 times, and he's right. He said, after seeing it 3 or 4 times myself, He said, I love this movie. He said, I noticed the violence means a lot less each time you watch it. And this film is a lot more...
story-based. Or...
No.
Don't die.
Excuse me. It's a lot more about the consequences. Carry on.
It's a lot more about the consequences of the actions
Of that violence.
Of the violence. Okay.
So
I didn't see this one you thing, so
yeah.
I mean, I know who they are, but I did not see the review of this movie.
Oh
Okay
my
there?
goodness! Yeah, I just choked on something.
Wow.
That's
Choked on the awesomeness of this movie, right?
It choked me up. It was so beautiful. But no, he said it's less about the violence of the film and about the consequences of the violence. I was like, wow, he's right. That is a deep
It's
insight.
not just the violence either, if you really think about it.
That's such a deep insight,
It's
man.
the consequences of every little thing that happens. I mean, what's his name? You know, Butch meets Vincent Vega for the first time. He kind of plays with him, kind of, puts him down. And Butch is like, what the heck? And then he goes and keys his car.
Right.
And then later he ends up killing him. So,
right. Spoiler.
This whole thing's spoilers. But yes, later he goes and kills him. So he sees him and he kills him. So you see that a lot. You get these little tidbits. Trying to figure out how to say that, but these little tidbits of what I'm talking about, like the consequences. Every single thing they do has a consequence.
Right.
So he acts. You don't know why they change clothes from the time they ready to the place to the time they get to the bar.
Right.
And then you find out at the end of the movie,
why,
closer to the end of the movie, why they changed clothes.
Right.
During the what are they called? The Bonnie. The Bonnie. I can't think of that little video.
Honey Bunny and Pumpkin.
No, it's before that. The one with them shooting the guy by accident and them having they have to change clothes because they're
right. So now we're about out of time, guys. Have you seen Pulp Fiction? Did you like it? Comment below. What movies do you want to see us do in the future for This Is Movies? Also comment that, and I think that's about it.
I think that's about it. So until next time, I'm Eli.
I'm Joshua,
and
this is Movies. We hope you liked today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment because we enjoy chatting with you.
Also, check us out on Instagram and Facebook at This Is Something. All the links are below. Thanks, and have a beautiful day.